My name is Charity Colleen Krause. I am 43 years old. I'm a born citizen of the United States of America. For several years, I worked in the public health department for the city and county of San Francisco, first as a contractor and then as a civil service employee. I worked in the operations and facilities department, and then I moved to compliance. This was over 5 years ago. And for 4 of the last 5 years, I've been attempting to report on what started as allegations of fraud involving the Health and Human Services System and Housing and Urban Development Agency via misappropriations and malfeasance in domestic violence and homeless shelters in now 2 states and more than 5 cities. During that time frame, there was absolutely illegal activities that occurred when it regarded public health safety, and those things have escalated. I believe that part and parcel with this is a conspiracy to attempt to force us into acceding to the legalization of marijuana with an understanding that it will facilitate a normalization and legitimization of other drugs, including hard drugs. There have been so called clinical trials for things including MDMA and ecstasy, not only in the United States but in other countries. I believe the whole thing around CBD oil and the concept of CBD oil somehow being a legitimate painkiller or a legitimate medical matter in any other regard is a complete fallacy and is merely an attempt to try to normalize us into processes of legitimizing other drugs. The intentions behind these legitimate drugs is to try to compel us into silence while they try to socially engineer us and economically program us into a systematology that basically is a form of slavery. Not just basically, it's literally human slavery. It's completely unacceptable, it's completely unconstitutional. And with the gravity of what's going on right now, it is treason. Anybody in any elected office, whether it's in the federal system, whether it's in the state's legislature, or whether it's in a municipality or county government, that is taking drugs right now, that is engaging in illicit drug use right now, I contend is a threat to public safety and is a threat to national security. We are presumably in a health pandemic, a medical emergency. There is absolutely no justification for anybody to be engaging in any sort of recreational drug use, especially if it is a controlled substance and is listed as such and is illegal. I also contend that if it is marijuana and there is any marijuana in the system of anybody that is supposed to be in public service right now, that they are actually a threat to national security and should be treated. If it was up to me, which on one hand it's not, but on another hand it is, every single member of elected public office on the county level, on the city level, on the state level, and in the federal government would immediately be made to be subject to a drug test for all controlled substances up to and including marijuana by the end of the day today, no later than by tomorrow morning. And if any drugs are found in their system, they should be removed from their duties immediately, they should be arrested, and they should be prosecuted. It is 7:22 p.m. on June 25th, 2020.